Morning, this is Brian. Today is Friday, January 24th, 2025, and I'm back for the first time in a couple of years here at Crestridge Ecological Reserve. And today, I'm planning on hitting a couple of peaks today that you can access from hiking here at Crestridge. One of them I've done before, which is Peak 1763. Then a couple of other peaks that I've never visited. One of them is Peak 1584, which will be my first of the day. And then another peak, Peak 1754, which will be the furthest one out on today's journey. So let's see how this goes today. Should be an interesting day out here. There's a little kiosk. So, this one here, the water tank, this is Peak 1763. Peak 1584 is going to be some over here. And there's going to be a use trail that heads up there. This is where we're parked right here on Horse Mill, the very end of Horse Mill. So, I'm going to be going roughly this way. Then I think I'm going to access the peak from the Den Trail. There should be a use trail. Peak 1584 should be about here. Peak 1754 should be somewhere in this area here. There is going to be a use trail that leads from roughly about here up to Peak 1763. And there'll be another use trail that gets up to Peak 1754. So we'll see how this works today. Should be an interesting day. So here we go. Let's go try to find the way up to Peak 1584. Should be my first stop of the day. So yes, good old Crestridge Ecological Reserve. It's been over 2 years since I've been here. I've been here twice. Once in October 2022 and once in November 2022. Yes, indeed. Should be an interesting day. Alright, well, I'm going to start working my way towards the first peak of the day. The last peak that I intend on hitting, 1754, is going to be quite a distance out there, so that one's going to be the longest hike of the day. Let's see what I find today. Alright, so to try to keep this video from being a 2.5, 3-hour video like my second to last one was, I try to keep these clips a little shorter. But we are in this mixed oak woodland here, starting off with Engelmann oak, Quercus engelmannii. Beautiful Engelmann oaks here. And this is where I did my spotlight on Engelmann oaks back in October of 2022. That was done here. And of course we also have the venerable Coast live oak here, Quercus agrifolia variety agrifolia. I remember this big eucalypt right here. This is the Mari. This is Carimbia calophylla. I remember this tree first time I was here. Carimbia calophylla, the Mari from Australia. Yep. It's been a while since I've been here. Alright, I'm going to keep on moving on. We'll see when I get up over towards Peak 1584. Alright, So looking up that way, that's where peak 1584 should be. That hill right up there. That'll be my first stop. First stop of the day, or at least summit visit planned for the day. Just look for a use trail branching off on this side here. Nice cool morning out here. I'd say it's probably down in the canyon. Should be probably in the upper 30s, maybe low 40s. Nice cool morning out here. Let's see. All right, here's the use trail. Right at the top of this rise here. I think this is the first use trail. I'm going to take this here. Should lead me towards peak 1584. You can also approach it from the other side too. Let's see. I think this will probably take me up there. Beautiful morning out here. Should be an interesting day. Alright. I'll see you up the way for more updates that make the climb up towards peak 1584. Here's another type of oak you'll see a lot here in Crestridge. And this is the Torrey's hybrid scrub oak, Quercus acutidens. Very common here. And that is a hybrid. Let's mention one of its parents also grows here, which is the Engelmann oak that I pointed out earlier on when I was down in the woodlands. So this is a hybrid of Engelmann oak and a scrub oak that grows up in the mountains east of here called the Mueller scrub oak, Quercus cornelius muelleri. So this is a hybrid between the two. And there's going to be a lot of that today too. Some of them look a lot like slightly shrubbier versions of their Engelmann oak parents. There's going to be a lot of that today too. So now what I got to do is find, to get up this way, find the, should be a little use trail branching off to get up to the peak. So I got to look for that. So we'll see if I can find that today. And one thing about this area, a lot of tall laurel sumacs, tall upright laurel sumacs growing here, and even some white flowered currant, which despite the lack of rainfall, they're already starting to form flower buds and new leaves, and they're usually leafless during the summer dry season. Alright, well, I noticed that since we started climbing above the valley floor, temperature's warmed up considerably. Feels like it's in the upper 50s up here. Alright, well, here I go. To the other side of this hill is also another trail similar to this. Kind of wiggles its way around the hill. So, alright, see you on the next clip. So I've been kind of zigzagging up this for a while. I see what looks like a trail here, but I think I'm going to wait till I get up higher up on the switchbacks before I leave the main trail and take the use trail. Let's see, let me get up here a little further and see. All right. Alright. Let's see what happens. If I keep very gently ascending this hill. Very gently. Very easy grade. Alright. That's a beautiful laurel sumac around here. I remember that from the other side of the hill too. The first time I came here, I hiked a series of switchbacks on the other side of hill 1584, but didn't realize there was a peak, so I didn't summit. So now that I know there's a summit, it's actually a hilltop. Now I'm actually going to try to summit it. All right, I'll see where I pick up that use trail to climb up to the top of the peak. So I think I'm near the summit already. Now, I think I'm at the top part of the trail. Now, just want to see. I think I found the use trail right here. Right here's a little cut use trail. I think this should take me to the peak. This will be my first summit of the day. The sun's kind of in my eyes. Bear with me. Should be nearing the summit very soon, actually, I believe. Okay. I'm almost there. Almost at my first peak of the day. Didn't take very long to get up here. Not a ton of elevation gain, maybe a couple hundred. This one doesn't have a lot of prominence, so it didn't take a ridiculous amount of time to get up here. I'm nearing the summit right now. Get through this laurel sumac thicket right here. Okay, here we go. Just about to crown this one. Should be right over there, about yucca stalk. All right, this is it. Peak 1584, my first summit of the day. Really cool. All right, my first summit of the day. Just a short walk up that little clipped use trail to get up here. Really cool. That's looking over towards my second destination, which will be the highest peak of the day. That's peak 1763, where that water tower is. That'll be my second climb of the day. But yeah, pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and do a 360 up here. I'll probably do the main viewpoint on the highest peak. All right. Let me start by looking north, and I'm gonna do this counterclockwise. So that's looking north. That's looking down towards Lakeside over there in Santee. That's looking west now. Looking southwest. Now we're looking south towards the community of Crest. Now I'm going to have to angle this down a little bit lower because I'm looking southeast towards the sun. I'm just going to angle it down a little bit so not too much glare gets on the camera. And there we are looking east. Looking northeast towards Flint Springs County Park over that way. And I have a large one over there, should be Flynn Peak. And then swinging it back around towards the north and El Cajon Mountain in the background. Alright, so we do got some views up here. Now the views on top of Peak 1763, I'll have to waft around the summit to find those. I can't even see Peak 1754 from here. That'll be my second highest peak visited today. But I'm not sure exactly where that is. I don't see that in the viewpoint. It's going to be further off. So yeah, some pretty nice views up here. Very nice views, actually. All right, I'm gonna go take a picture or two, including my summit selfie. All right, so my next plan is to get on the other set of switchbacks, not the ones I came up, but other set of switchbacks that are going to go down on this side of the hill, and then I'm going to link up with the Valley View truck trail there, which is that wide dirt road, and then I can see there's a use trail that clips its way up that way, and then it goes up towards Peak 1763. It'll be just like the way I did it the first time back in 2022. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can access the other set of switchbacks that'll take me down this side, down towards a canyon bottom, and start working my way up to Peak 1763. So go ahead and go back down this little use trail, and then join the trail continuing on that way, which should switch back down that side. All right, let's see how this works. All right, so back at the trail junction. So you'll know you're right by the use trail if you were trying to get to Peak 1584. When you come up to this rise here, you'll see a set of large rocks and some shrubs, some beautiful shrubs, and a small coast live oak tree. You'll know you're right by the use trail to get to Peak 1584. Now, time to go down this side of the switchbacks to get down towards the road. Now this should take me down another series of switchbacks. All right, let's see. I think this will take me down that way. Beautiful morning out here. So I want to get an earlier start. I want to get a little bit earlier start than I did. Probably didn't get to the trail till about 7:20 or so. I want to get here a little bit earlier so I can maximize it before it gets warm today. Now we're supposed to start cooling down from the last couple of days, but it was only Wednesday. Wednesday was the only day that it really got hot. It was in the 80s. Tuesday. No, it was Tuesday. It was Tuesday. Well, maybe Tuesday and Wednesday. It was kind of warm those days, but especially the day after my second to last hike, which was over in Stelzer County Park. Very, very highly recommended place to visit, whether you want to go hiking or just want to bring the family to hang out and mess around and stuff. All right, I think this is the trail. Well, I'll find out. I don't want to. Wait, there's a trail down that way. All right, well, this will be a little bit of route finding. Not cross country, obviously, because I'm on trail. I'm going to be on trail pretty much the whole day. There are trails that go to my goal peaks today. There are trails going to all of them, or at least trails and use trails. So I shouldn't be doing off trail. And off trail here at Crestridge is probably a big no-no. Anyways, so that's why when I went to Stelzer Park The off-trail portion I did was outside of the park. All right, enough yapping. Time for some more hiking. Let's see if this actually leads me around the hill. So yeah, there it is. There's the peak right there. Peak 1584. All right, see you down the way. All right, so I've been coming down this way from up this way. There's a little trail junction here. Let's see where this goes. This isn't the way I plan on going, I don't think. Because my plan was to get back down to the bottom. Get down to the bottom. Oh, I think I can go this way. Get down to the bottom of Peak 1763 and go up that way. I wasn't trying to go back towards a community. So there's a community of Crest over there. So I think I'm going to go this way, bear right here, and start heading down towards the canyon bottom. Okay, so far this is a very interesting hike. And now I'm seeing some slightly different perspectives of Crestridge. Getting an even better feel for this place. That is absolutely stunning out here. And we're getting some willows popping up. Got some royal willow, and it's already starting to flower because of the very warm temperatures this month. It's already starting to flower, and we're not even at the end of January yet. A royal willow's always been known to start breaking bud dormancy early, usually during midwinter. A lot of times towards the beginning of February, but yeah, a little bit earlier than usual. It's weird, our daytime highs have been mostly a little bit above normal to sometimes significantly above, and our overnight temperatures have been actually below normal, which is probably making the trees and shrubs go crazy. Like, do I leaf out now or do I wait? Okay, there's a Eucalyptus comodulensis right there, river red gum, and we got some Engelmann oaks down there, some coast live oaks. So it looks like what we're going to do is we're going to go around this side here. There's another use trail here, which I'm not going to follow. I'm going to go follow this, and this should take me to the switchbacks going down the other side, I believe. So time will tell. Here's one of those interesting scrub oaks right here. I'm trying to tell if this is an actual Engelmann oak, which I'm leaning towards it being, a multi-trunked Engelmann oak, or one of those cutidens with heavy amounts of Engelmann DNA. Definitely looks like a regular Engelmann oak, but it's a multi-trunk shrub. Now, Engelmann oak can be multi-trunked, and it often is. This right here should be an Engelmann oak right here. But yeah, you will find some shrubbier oaks that will make you scratch your head as to whether they're just shrubby Engelmann oaks or those Torrey's hybrid scrub oaks that have a very high quantity of Engelmann DNA as opposed to Mueller oak DNA. And of course, now we're swinging into chaparral. We're getting some common chamise popping up here, some Adenostoma fasciculatum, variety fasciculatum, popping up. There's also a rare species of shrub that is found in this area. It's a very local endemic, and I remember seeing a few specimens up towards the peak 1763. So be prepared for that. It won't be blooming this time of year. I'd have to come here in probably May for that. But I'll mention more about it on the way there. I'm just going to keep going down these switchbacks. Should lead me down towards the truck trail down there, and then I should be able to pick up that use trail that cuts up that way and up towards the peak. All right, I'm still technically on the slopes of 1584, but I'm very much enjoying this cruisy downhill stretch here. See up the way. Some more updates. Alright, so I'm basically at the end of this section of trail here. Huh, must have been an old fire break or something here at one point. Right, so I'm just about to be finished with this trail here. I should be down meeting the dirt road very shortly, and you know that you're getting there. If you follow the route I'm taking, you'll know you're almost there when you start seeing larger trees popping up. Some coast live oaks. Should be back at the dirt road momentarily. And here we are. We're at the Valley View Truck Trail. Right here at the base of Peak 1584. So, on my way back to the car, I'm going to be heading this way. As you can hear, woodpeckers pecking away in some of the oak trees. That'll be my return route there. But to get to 1763, I'm going to turn left, head up this a short distance, and then access a use trail heading up to there. That should be, might be some of the steepest climbing of the day. I'm not sure. Like I said, I haven't been to Peak 1754, but pretty soon I'm going to be accessing a use trail that's going to first go that way and then go up the ridge. So let's see. I'll see you at the use trail. Should be pretty short time coming up. Like I said, very short time coming. I just came up that, just a very short distance. Right next to this Engelmann oak right here, you'll see a trail cutting in. Starts off kind of rutted. So just watch your footing. This is our trail that's going to head this way for a while, and it's going to go up the ridge towards the peak up there. That'll be our second summit visit of the day, but just watch out, you start off pretty rutted here. All right, away I go, climbing up towards Peak 1763. So I'm nearing the section where the trail's going to bend to the left to ascend the peak. If you're hiking this peak, be very careful, stay on trail. It looks like we got some cryptobiotic soil here, so stay on trail. Seeing cryptobiotic soil is something that would stop me in my tracks from getting to the top of a peak, because I don't want to disturb the balance of the ecosystem. So if I see cryptobiotic soil, I'm going up to a peak. If it's on the side of the trail, fine. But if you're off trail and you see it, it's some way to disrupt the ecosystem. All right, so we've bent to the left, and now you're ascending more towards the peak now. Like I said, just watch your step. It's kind of rutted here. And we're going up towards the peak now. I'm above peak 1584, so I'm a little chunk of the way there. It's a pretty, especially the first half, or the first initial climb, it's pretty steep. So just take your time, catch your breath, take a look around, look at the views, and then just take your time trucking your way up. Well, I'll see you on my next clip as I take my own advice. The climbing's mellowed out quite a bit. Now, I suspect peak 1754 might be that one over there. Might be it. Possibly. Might be peak 1754. There's another trail here. Might use this to get back down to the truck trail. Pretty sure that's where it'll go, but yeah, I think 1754 is that one over there in the center, I think. That's my turnaround goal for today, to get up to 1754. And like I said, I think that's it. Should be, it's about 9 feet lower than the peak I'm visiting trying to visit right now. So, all right. Sorry for the sun glare, but you can see the tower up ahead underneath my hand trying to block out the sun. Well, see you up the way. All right, I'm starting to go towards the last push. Past that last part, it becomes very rutted and narrow here, so just be careful. Maybe put your feet in a single file line. Forgot about this. Like I said, it's been more than 2 years since I've been up here, but it becomes very trenched. So it's a very narrow walking space here. So just watch your step. So in a little while, should be coming out at the paved service road for the last few steps to the peak. I'll let you know when I'm there. Looks like there's a cutoff trail here. I noticed shortly after I filmed the last clip, there was a cutoff and then a very rocky section that I came up. I wonder if this one here avoids the rocky section. I'm not sure. It's actually a rock duck right here. I just took the left. You'll see a small fork. I took the left fork, and it's a little rocky, but it's class 1. It's just hiking. Just watching your step where you walk. Now, we got some let's see here. We got some paved road right up here, as I had mentioned. We're almost at the summit. Tower's right up there. Sorry for the sun glare. So what we do is we just hike up. We just walk around the fence. Don't go through the fence. Right up here, this big rock, this big boulder. Look at that. So this peak is on Peak Bagger. I don't think 1584 was the first peak I hit. I don't think it was on Peak Bagger. This one is. 1584 is way down there. Down there. That was my first peak. This one's almost 200 feet higher. So we'll go ahead and look for the summit. High point should be right outside the fence. Nice views. I still have to walk around the summit to get the full summit views. Yeah, I saw that smoke this morning. Looks like there's a brush fire right near Otay Mountain. Oh, that's not good. That's definitely not good. There's a brush fire out there. Somewhere near Hamul or Otay Valley or something. Alright. Let's go ahead and look for our summit. The high point should be around here somewhere. And there's a little bench that's known for people who climb up this peak. Here it is right over here. I'll come up to it and show you. Alright. Maggie's bench, yes. I remember this. Shine On River. Must have been a pet dog. Timmy Girl, best dog ever. I guess Maggie was a dog. Benny and Jet, such good doggies. Pretty cool. And there's even a little area here if you take your dog up here. Or the dog can take a drink. I don't know. I'd maybe bring my own pup cup or something. I don't have a dog personally, but if I did, taking my dog up here, I would definitely have a water. I'd definitely bring my own water and my own little reservoir. All right, so let's go ahead and summit this puppy. Here we are. Peak number 2 of the day, peak 1763. All right, peak 1763 here at Crestridge Ecological Reserve. And yes, the views are pretty good up here. I said I'm going to have to walk around the summit to point them out, but there will definitely be some views to be pointed out. And there's my next objective right there. Well, it's one of these. I think it's that one. Can't tell, but I think it's that one. Yeah, it should be peak 1754 right there. That's my next objective, which means I'm going to be walking along the truck trail for a while and then trying to figure out my route to get up there. All right, summit selfie and view time. All right, well, it's time for some views. I'm going to start by looking north. And that in the center is the Powell Range. The pointy one on the left is Iron Mountain. The one in the middle is Woodson Mountain. Right over there. So now we're going to go towards a little bit towards the northwest. Way out in the distance, that ridge in the very far background, left of Iron Mountain, is Santiago Peak in the Cleveland National Forest in the Santa Ana Mountains. That's Orange County's high point right there. Now, there's the Santa Ana Mountains way out there. Then looking over this way, I could see over towards San Marcos. I could see Mount Whitney and Frank's Peak. Then there's Black Mountain over by Rancho Penasquitos. Good old Black Mountain. Another awesome place. Looking down below, that's looking towards El Cajon, and then Lakeside's over this way. A little closer at hand, I could see over down there is Lake Jennings. So we're going back north again. I'm going to point this out now. And then that right there, that bright colored ridgeline, that's where I was hiking a few days ago, back on Monday. I was hiking in that area. That right there is Stelzer Summit. That peak down there at the bottom where my tip of my finger is, Kumeyaay Promontory, and then behind that is peak 1457. So that's over that's on the opposite side of Stelzer Park, where I was a few days ago. So let's go ahead and swing it back to the northwest. I could see the Pacific Ocean, and I could see my peaks of Mission Trails Regional Park. We got, from left to right, Coles Mountain, Peak 1380 has a good viewpoint for the next one. Powell's Peak. Then I could see, kind of barely see it. You can kind of barely see Quai Pai there. South Fortuna and North Fortuna Mountain. And on the ridge in front is Rattlesnake Mountain, which is on the opposite side of, this is the back side of it. The opposite side is where I live. On the back side of it is where I live in Santee. So down there is Santee. Now we're going to go swing it to the southwest. And you can see over towards San Diego, the city of San Diego. Then, again, that should be peak 1754 right there. I believe it's that one there. That one is one of the little subsidiary peaks. But, yeah, I think that's 1754. So now we're going to go looking southwest. And there's San Miguel Mountain with Mother Miguel Mountain underneath it. And, yeah, I got to go swing around and we'll go take a look at the other views. So we're looking more south right now. Yeah, it looks like there's a brush fire burning near the San Isidro Mountains, where Otay Mountain is above the plume of smoke. Yeah, so it must be a fire burning right in the San Isidro Mountains, which is a shame. And then one of these here in the foreground, one of these is McGinty Mountain. One of these is McGinty Mountain. I think it's the one under Otay, I believe. And then, looking southeast, sorry for the sun glare. Let me zoom back out. Sorry about that little glit there. You can see the rounded profile of Lions Peak over in Hamul. But in front of it, that pyramid-shaped peak is Sikwan Peak. And then, I gotta watch the sun glare. I apologize in advance. And then we can see out towards Lawson to the right, Gaskill to the left. Then we got Corte Madera Mountain to the left, Los Pinos Mountain to the right. This year I'm planning on trying to get to Corte Madera from the west, from Horse Thief Canyon. And then, looking out towards the east, way off in the distance, the crest of the Laguna Mountains. Now we got Viejas Mountain right there in center frame. In front of us, that's over towards where Flynn Peak is. One of those, I think that one's Flynn Peak right there. I think that's Flynn Peak. I think that road right there is Montaña Serena. Montaña Serena, I think is the name of that one. So one of those is going to be Flynn Peak. It could be that one or that one. I'll have to double check. And on the other side of that is Flynn Springs County Park. Then in the background above the Flynn Peak area is Cuyamaca Peak. And then we're going to be swinging towards the northeast. That ridgeline in the background consists of the Vulcan Mountains. That's where the Vulcan Mountains are. And then let's look down towards Big Bad El Cajon Mountain to our northeast. Big Bad El Cajon Mountain. That right there, that drop right there is the big prominent cliff face. You don't get as much of a view from it because we're staring straight at it. There's the top of El Cajon Mountain. Then we have El Capitan Peak. It's just a few hundred feet lower. And that right there is sometimes called Silver Dome 2, also known as Wiedenhoff Peak. And that's looking towards Silver Dome right there. And that's looking back towards the north. In the background, way in the background, is Palomar Mountain. So yeah, just got to walk around the summit a little bit, and the views are there. But closer at hand, beautiful Crest and Harbison Canyon areas on the outskirts of El Cajon. Good views up here. All right, I'm gonna go sip on some water and then start getting ready to head out that way. I was almost gonna take a seat on Maggie's bench, but I think I'm a little too heavy. I'm about 270 pounds, so I don't want to break the bench, so I just put my backpack there to get a sip of water. Just admiring the view out here. Gosh. I can see a lot of the other little details, like a lot of the other smaller peaks that I've climbed. over here. Some of the smaller hills and bumps. Every one of which, no matter how small or how tall it is, no matter how small or how tall it is, still holds a special place because I got to the top of something. I love getting to the top of mountain peaks and hills and mounds. I just love it. It's like it is like a little bit of an obsession with me, and I understand why a lot of people who use Peak Bagger are so crazy about getting to the top of a hill, mountain, or peak. I understand the feeling. It's just that I'm not really willing to bend the rules to trespass on private property like some people do. Some people will trespass on private property, and that's one place where one thing I'm not willing to do is knowingly trespass. So, yeah, that's really not my style. To knowingly trespass. I try to avoid it as much as possible. Well, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the peak. I think there might be another use trail. Instead of going all the way down towards that dip where I first accessed the use trail I took to get up here, I think somewhere down there's actually a split that might cut down that way. Instead of going down that way, I cut down that way to get to the Valley View Truck Trail, which is that down there. That's where I need to go next. And then I got to start looking for another trail split that leads up towards this area. I should be able to access Peak 1754 without any off trail, which I'm not planning on doing here in an ecological reserve. But I'm gonna go ahead and start heading down, and maybe snap a few photos along the way before I leave the summit completely. Alright, so I've just left the really short paved section. Ooh, and we got some hollyleaf redberry. I've been seeing a few of these, mostly off trail, off in the distance a little bit. But yeah, there's Rhamnus ilicifolia right there, hollyleaf redberry. I've also been seeing its cousin, the spiny redberry. I've been seeing a few of those as well. Been seeing quite a few of those. And we got some lakeside ceanothus here. Ceanothus cyaneus. Some of these guys here. They look a lot like their cousins, the chaparral whitethorn, Ceanothus leucodermis. So I haven't seen these in bloom yet, so these possibly could be. They could be. I have to come back here when they're in full bloom. When they're in full bloom, I should be able to tell. But yeah, these should be lakeside ceanothus. They get pretty tall. These should be Ceanothus cyaneus. That's what these should be here. Like I said, I've never been here in May. I've only been here in summer, or no. I've only been here in autumn twice, and then once here in winter. I got to come back up here in May to check these out. But yeah, I'm gonna go follow this. I'm gonna go follow this. So this is where I came up. I'm gonna go follow this and see where this leads. I think this is going to lead around the really rocky section. Looks like somebody's been doing trail work up here. I don't know. It looks like somebody cut down a whole shrub down to its root burl, so I don't know. But it looks like somebody's been doing some trail work to access the peak. I think this just leads somewhere else, I think. You can see a lot of bicycle tracks and footprints here too. Well, let's just go ahead and follow this down. Looks like this might be an alternative route to get up here, maybe. I don't know if this is from that split that I saw. Maybe this is another split. You can see it gets a lot of bike traffic up here. So people use their mountain bikes up here. I don't know. I guess I'll be in for a little bit of an adventure. As long as this heads me towards Valley View Truck Trail, I'll be good to go. All right, well, keep you posted. Update. I think this is a cutoff because I'm heading back towards the main trail. Yeah, I'm heading back towards the main use trail. Yeah, this is where I went up. So this was a cutoff trail because it gets very rocky a little bit further up. Well, I took both then. So you can, if you don't want a rocky ascent, when you get there, bear right. If you don't care, bear left. All right. Oh, there's a chopper. Probably dealing with that fire over by Otay Mountain. All right, down I go. Look for the next split. That should take me more towards that portion of Valley View Truck Trail as opposed to that portion of Valley View Truck Trail, which will make my hike even longer than I need it to be. Oh, I missed this. Here's another cutoff right here. Another duck. So that's the way I came up. I'm gonna go head this way and see. I think this is gonna bypass the real rutted part. Yeah, it was really rutted earlier. So I wonder if that's what this is doing, is cutting off that rutted section. I think that's what this is. Yeah, because it was pretty rutted, where I literally had to put one foot in front of another. So I think this is going to be another cutoff. Hopefully I'll be able to map this on my hiking map. Look at the weathering of this rock. Look at that. That's cool. You can actually see the ground below it. That is cool. Erosion and weathering. That's insane. There's rock ducks over here too. Probably by dedicated peak climbers. Alright, well, this is interesting. Looks like this is a small duck route to bypass the insanity. There's another one there. Another one there. Another one there. Okay. Maybe this just bypasses the real crazy rutted sections. But I could say I've done both. The rutted and gentle sections. Alright, enough yapping and more descending. Alright, so I'm just about back at the main track again. So all this did was actually just bypass the real rutted section. Yeah, you see, I missed this on the way up. But yeah, a couple of rock ducks. Yeah, so there's been some trail maintenance on this hill. But like I said, I follow the main track. Ruts and all. So it's doable. It's just, I guess a lot of mountain bikers probably prefer to do the smooth stuff, I guess. Or not all of them, but a lot of them. Depends. Footing's a lot easier on the bypasses, but I can gladly say that I did the original too. All right, well, I'm gonna go look for a trail split. I think it's gonna take me down that way. Let's see if I can find that and work my way down to Valley View Truck Trail. All right, so I've reached the split. This is where I came. This is after the trail came up and then curved this way. So what I'm gonna take this one. Should take me down to Valley View Truck Trail. So that's the way I came up from before. This is the way I'm gonna head down towards the truck trail to cut off a lot of extra out and back walking. All right, here we go. Time to start heading towards Valley View Truck Trail, and there'll be some pretty decent undulations. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna catch some decent elevation gain along the way, and also on the way back. probably catch some decent elevation gain along the road. So now today's supposed to be cooler, starting to cool down, but I definitely brought more water than I think I'll need today. So I don't think I'll be back to my car before noon. And it'll probably be pretty warm by then. So I definitely made sure I overpacked, including a frozen water bottle to help keep the other water bottles cold. So here we go. Let's see what happens with this. Beautiful out here. All right, I'll see you on the next clip. All right, so I'm walking along this trail. It goes just under this small mound over here. This is a very beautiful section here too. Coastal sage scrub. And the truck trail should be down there. Might have a little work to do to get to it. I can see it. I can see the truck trail just down there. So it won't be super long before I'm there. Boy, is this a nice, I'm hitting territory I have not seen in this park yet. So, oh well, it's just making this even more interesting day than it already has been. All right, I'll see you down the way. Man, this has been such a beautiful hike so far. I'm just about to join the truck trail right now. Right? Oh, look at this shady laurel sumac. Oh, that's cool. Oh, there's a lot of beautiful laurel sumacs out here. Okay, so here we are at the truck trail. So I'm at the end of this use trail here. So to return back, I'm going to be going this way. But I'm going to be heading out this way into the valley. Hopefully culminating in a visit up there. So here we go. Wide fire road now. Okay. Keep you posted on my progress, but there's a look back to Peak 1763, that beautiful perch up there, that water tower, and away I go further into the park than I've ever been before. All right, so we're coming up to a lone river red gum eucalyptus. A little, that's a little one. Very remote eucalyptus tree. This is the Eucalyptus comodoensis. Very remote little tree. Way out here in the middle of the chaparral. This is more chaparral out here now. There's another river red gum right there. But yeah, there's my peak. Then my use trail kind of goes along that ridge. Wow, yeah. So yeah, on the way back, this is all going to be an uphill stretch here. So I'll definitely have some work to do on the way back, but I am so up for the challenge today. Finally getting up to some of those peaks over there. Or at least 1754. All right. I'll keep you updated, and until then, enjoy a few stills. All right, so I come up to a small junction, and I think this is the junction I'm supposed to take to get up towards Peak 1754. I believe this is it here. So I'm going to take this one here. So it is past these two eucalyptus trees. These two eucalyptus trees you'll see in that weird pole thing, whatever that is. That weird pole thing right there. You'll see a trail junction just downhill from it. I believe this is the trail junction I'm supposed to take to start climbing up towards 1754. So I'm going to go take this one. Take this trail and see if this will lead me up that way. I think that one in the middle is 1754, and that might be peak 1720, which I don't think is on the topo maps, or listed on the topo maps. But let's see. Let's see if this is the right trail. A little tiny Fremont cottonwood right here. I wonder how that's surviving down here. Oh yeah, here's a trail fork. I'm going to take this one. I think I'm supposed to stay on this side. Like I said, I think this is the right way, and I will find out. That was a little Fremont cottonwood. That was interesting. Let's see if this starts heading up towards the hills over there. It's starting to head towards that direction, so this might be a good sign. We will see. See if this actually heads towards those hills. Okay, catch you on the next update. We got some more Ceanothus cyaneus, and we got some Ceanothus tomentosus too. Folks, we're heading right through this little gulch right here. Very beautiful. Now, I've been going downhill up until now, so let's see. It looks like it's heading towards the hills, so far I think this is a good sign. I think this was the trail I'm supposed to take. Graham, when you get to that fork I showed you in a previous clip, bear right, or stay. Don't bear left on it. Stay relatively straight. Don't turn left onto that fork. So that'll head you away from the hills, it looks like. I'm trying to get up into those hills. All right, well, I'll keep posting updates on my progress. I passed by some more Quercus acutidens over here. And this beautiful chaparral. So I pointed out earlier, hollyleaf redberry. Well, here's spiny redberry with some really tiny leaves. Little Rhamnus crocea. Hoping to maybe come across Rhamnus pilosa, the hairy redberry. And that would be a trifecta of awesomeness. The trinity of Rhamnus species. Yeah, some more spiny redberry just on the other side of this shrub here. All right. So far it's heading uphill. Seems to be heading this towards the east now. Let's hope that this is the way I need to go. I've been walking for the last few minutes. I seem to be heading away back towards peak 1763. So not the direction I really wanted to go. Heading back towards the peak. Should be heading out that way. I have a feeling this is going to lead over towards the Crest community. All right, what's this? Yeah, I don't like where this is going. Should be heading that way. Maybe I Maybe I went on the wrong trail. Oh boy. There's another fork. Let me see where this goes. I don't know. Really want to get to peak 15, or peak 1754. Oh, sugar bush, Rusovata. Yeah, this doesn't seem to be heading off that way either. That's starting to head towards the community of Crest. I'm just going to stay on this for a few more minutes. If this doesn't start heading towards that way, I'm going to have to turn back and reassess. I'll have to see what happens here. Now, came up, bear right on a junction. Now it's starting to curve towards the way I want to go. So maybe I'm still on the right path. Now I'm heading towards those hills. So maybe I still am on the right path. I'm hoping. I'll keep you posted and we'll see. It's like it's botany time again. Ooh yes. San Diego mountain mahogany, Cercocarpus minutiflorus is starting to show up now, along with some more sugar bush. Here's sugar bush right here, Rusovata, that's folded up leaves, similar to its close relative, Laurel sumac melisma right next to it. So yeah, we got some San Diego mountain mahogany starting to show up now. Okay, very nice. And still hoping this trail is going to lead me up into those hills. All right, at another fork here. That leads up towards the community. This is going to take me right where I want to go. It's going to take me up into the hills. All right. So just a few junctions, basically bearing right at each one. Bear right at each junction. So I am pretty confident I'm heading right towards my destination. Up there. All right. Snap a few stills and keep working my way over to peak 1754. Okay, time for a little more botany. Bushrue, coastal spice bush, Neoridium dumosum. Those are the old fruits right there from years past. Yep, bushrue is up here too. Add that to the list. I haven't pointed this one out, but it's been fairly common. Mission manzanita, Xylococcus bicolor. And this one I haven't seen that much of today. Toyon, Heteromeles arbudifolia. Who's a rented in there? Kamaya fasciata is a rented bird. I heard it rattling. Right there. That's a rented. Yeah, I could hear it doing the little sound it does. It's like a warning call for other birds. That big animals are in the area, I believe, is what that is. It's a type of a call. Usually known more for... That was me making that sound, by the way. That's when you usually hear. The little sounds are them as well. All right, here we go. Towards the hills, right where I wanted to go. Yeah, I've made quite a bit of progress. Coming close to this overlook over here. see. I think that's it up ahead. I think that's peak 1754. Yeah. So that right there should be, I don't think that's even on the topo maps. That's peak 1640, which is supposed to be just to the north, roughly north of peak 1754. So I think that's peak 1640. It's just an elevation ring on the topo maps. And then peak 1720 should be on that side. So that should be peak 1754 up ahead. I thought it was going to be real steep coming up here. It's not that bad. A little steep, but not that bad. So let me see. I think that's my peak up ahead. 1720 should be on the other side. I don't even know if I can see it from here. So that should be my destination up there. Let's see. Closing in. Not too far away. All right. Well, it's been an absolutely outstanding hike today so far. And when we get up there, it'll be roughly my halfway point. Maybe a little bit more than halfway, because on the way back, I'm not going to be taking detours and resummiting peaks. So once I'm up there, it'll be my turnaround point. Start heading back. But probably be finished with maybe about 60% of my hike, or 55, 60% of it by the time I summit that cool looking peak up ahead. Oh, got eucalyptus calyx out here too. Okay, sugar gum. All right, so should be heading up that way soon. All right, so looks like I'm getting close to the top of the rise. There's a good trail to get up here too. Like I said, been bearing right at East Junction since leaving the Valley View Truck Trail to get up towards this area. So far I have not been going astray. Now let's see if I can make it up to the peak soon. All right, I think I'm near the peak. Yeah, it should be it up here. Yeah, I think that's peak 1720 right there. So I'm just about to summit peak 1754 pretty soon. Just got to get up to where those rocks are. Okay. go around here. Just about at the top right now. Alright, this is the summit area. Okay, where's my high point? I think it's in there. Let me see. You walk around a little bit. Alright, so I came back about 20 yards. I don't know if this is the highest rock, but actually, yeah, this should be the highest rock here. All right, well, this is it. Peak 1754 here at Crestridge Ecological Reserve. Finally made it up here after a couple of years of hoping to get up here. I don't know why, but this peak looks higher. See the water tower? It actually looks higher than peak 1763. I wonder if my eyes are just playing tricks on me. That's supposed to be about 9 feet higher than this. But yeah, this is peak 1754. And I believe this is on Peak Bagger. I think this one's on Peak Bagger. Pretty sure this one is. But yeah, this is the summit area. That rock's a little bit higher. That rock over there might actually be a little bit higher. So I'm going to go over there too. I'm going to shoot my summit selfie pretty soon. But yeah. Yeah, actually, I don't know. It's pretty close. I was over there, but I'll shoot my summit selfie over there. Well, yeah, peak 1754. This will be my third peak of the day. All right, I'm gonna see if I can get to these summit rocks. So close. Both elevations are so close to one another, so it's kind of hard to tell. Let me see. Yeah, I think this rock's gonna be a little higher. I think. Let me see. Yeah, this is a little bit higher. This is a little beyond my. Let me see here. Try not to do any damage here. All right. I'll maybe go partially up this rock. Let me see here. I think this is as high up on this rock as I'm going to go. So we're basically, I think we're at the edge of the ecological reserve. I think this is the edge of it. So down there is peak 1640. And back there is 1763, but this looks higher than it. Because I can see the roof of the water tower. That's weird. This looks higher than that. I don't know. I mean, sometimes the mind will play tricks on you when you're out and about. This doesn't have a lot of really good handed footholds for my ability, so I'll be contented up here. So this is it, peak 1754. Time for a summit selfie. First of all, today's a hat trick. Another 3 summit day. And I'm glad. So yeah, that point there and this point here both can vie for the summit. So it's hard to tell if that rock is higher or this rock is higher. So I was over by the bottom of that rock. So I'm just going to call it summit by default. And again, summit, these type of summit blocks are optional in my opinion. I could probably try, but I've been having some bad luck slipping and stuff lately, so again, I'm going to stick to my skill level and call it a summit up here. This is it. Beautiful peak 1754. Yeah, see, there's peak 1763. So that should be 9 feet higher than this. But like I said, my mind could be playing tricks on me, but it looks like we're higher than it. And there's the Valley View Truck Trail. I'm going to be taking that on the way back. And then there's peak 1640, which is going to be off limits because it's off trail to get. There's no trail to get there, and we're supposed to stay on trail. And this is the closest to leaving the trail that I've done. Is just to amble up to this rock, and that's about it. After this, I'm going to start heading back, get back towards the truck trail, and start working my way back towards the car. Probably won't be filming nearly as much on the way back as I did on the way out. But yeah, pretty good views up here. Let me see if I can get a good view. Yeah, there's definitely a brush fire right down there. That's not good. That's right underneath Otay Mountain. There was a brush fire burning in that area earlier too. This I think last month, I think. That's not a good sign. It's burning up in the San Ysidro Mountains right now. And these are the San Ysidro Mountains by the border. Different from the San Ysidro Mountains by Anza Borrego Desert State Park, which is clear out that way. So we have two San Ysidro Mountains here in San Diego County. The closest ones are the one where Otay Mountain crowns that one. And then San Ysidro Mountain in northeastern San Diego County near Ranchita is the high point of that San Ysidro mountain range. So we got two San Ysidro Mountains, and this one looks like it's on fire. That's a shame. What a shame. All right, take a few summit shots, and I'm going to start working my way down. Trying to see if I can see a plane land at Gillespie Field. See, that's Gillespie Field down there. That's the airport between Santee and El Cajon. Right down there. Just on the right of this rock. Trying to see if I can see a plane land over there, but I don't know if it'll catch very well on camera. But that's Gillespie Field. It's right near where I live. It's right there. That hill next to it is Rattlesnake Mountain. Trying to see if that plane's going to land there. You won't be able to see it on camera though. Oh well. Guess I'll just watch it for myself. I'd start heading down anyways. Other views I couldn't point out earlier because of the hillsides blocking the view. Well, I can see, looking west, I can see Mount Helix right there in the center. It's Mount Helix. And there's downtown San Diego behind that subsidiary summit of Mount Helix. And that very gentle shaped hill over there, that's Dictionary Hill over by Spring Valley. So that's over by Spring Valley. Whoops. Spring Valley, Dictionary Hill, and La Mesa, Casa de Oro, Mount Helix communities. So here's the rock. I was just on the other side of that one. Yeah, we got a nice view on this side too. Yeah, that's pretty scary right there. Yeah, right near Otay Mountain. That's not good. Yeah. Supposed to get some rain tomorrow evening, I believe. So we'll see if that materializes. But all I need to do is get back to the trail and start working my way back. Pretty cool summit up here. You got a good view of El Cajon. I could even see the San Diego County Courthouse, East County they call it. I say right there. It's not that far from where I work actually. I work in a grocery store in El Cajon. But yeah, that should be the East County Courthouse and Civic Center over there. Pretty interesting. Alright, time to start working my way down. So, this is the other high point area. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to start leaving the summit area, start heading back the way I came. Alright, so I'm working my way back to where I came. There's the peak up there. That's where I was. That's a cool peak. Pretty cool peak. So I'm just working my way along the trail back towards where I came. So now I'm heading back. My junctions will be, my trail junctions will mean left turns to get back towards the truck trail. So when you're coming towards Peak 1754, there might be other places you can start to climb 1754, so you don't have all the distance to cover if you don't want to cover that much distance. I haven't really researched those, but I wanted to get in as many peaks as I could so I could at least get up and enjoy each different perch. Enjoyed each and every perch that I visited. Yeah, I saw one of those jets before. I wonder if that's a water tanker. I saw one flying in that same direction, I think about an hour ago. There's another trail junction here, but I'm going to stay here. Yeah. I wonder if that's going towards Otay Mountain. If I get up here fast enough, maybe I can get a view of it and see what it does. You won't see it on camera too well. But I can see that jet is beyond that ridge up there, starting to head towards where the fire is, waiting to see if I see water dropping out of it. But I can't get around this fast enough to see. Let me see if I can get in position. I think these hills back here are going to be too high for me to be able to see. If I were up on the peak about 15 minutes later, like right now, 15 minutes later than when I came up, I probably would have been able to see that happen. But yeah, I think all the hills back here are too high for me to see. Yeah, the jet's behind those hills now, I think. I can see it now. But it's flying, I think, right towards where the fire is. Sometimes those huge airliner-sized jets, a lot of times you'll see them doing crazy acrobatics over fires, and you'll see them drop water on them. Like the same type of jets that carry airline passengers. But yeah, I don't think I can. Yeah, I can't see it anymore. Everything's behind those hills there. That would have been cool to see. Oh well. Keep going down, and down, and down, and back. We'll have some uphill stretches on the way back. But, oh well. I was hoping to be able to see that jet drop water. I'm pretty sure that's a water jet. 'Cause that's the same jet that I saw flying over earlier. Had kind of an orangish reddish underside. It's definitely not an airliner jet, even though it's a type of jet. It's the same type of jet, but yeah, that's crazy. All right, I'll keep you updated on my progress back on the way down. All right, so I'm at the junction. So again, I'm gonna go this way. That way I think leads back towards Crest or Harbison Canyon. This, yeah, I remember. So this is my first left junction here. I remember this pile of rocks here. So I am heading my way back down towards the truck trail, I shall reappear right about over there. It's where the trail starts coming out. And I gotta go climb over that back towards where the main hub of the park is. This was so worth it. So worth getting out here. Beautiful park. This is a very, very beautiful place to go hiking. Especially if you love that California coastal sage scrub and chaparral. Me, I like pretty much every single one of our, well actually I do love every single one of our native habitats, so it's not difficult. It's nearly impossible for me not to love it. I love our native plants, our native landscapes, and I love San Diego County's hilly and mountainous terrain. That's one thing about living in California, depending on where you are. Unless you're in the Central Valley, you got lots of hills and mountains. Lots of hills and mountains. Or if you live in the flat coastal plain, like around Santa Ana, Anaheim, Los Angeles, it's not that far until you're in the hills and mountains on the Orange County and LA Basin coastal plains. Not that far to get to hills, or even small hills and small mountain ranges cutting through the basin as well. So here in Southern California, everywhere you turn, the only really flat place is the ocean, and that's not even that flat when the waves are high. So yeah, here we go. Down I go, back towards the truck trail. Well, here's a really nice foothill California buckwheat. This area going to fasciculatum variety foliolosum. Yesterday when I was hiking in La Jolla, I saw the coastal variant of this, which is Aragonum fasciculatum variety fasciculatum. But this is the foothill buckwheat, the one that loves the heat, the inland heat a lot more. All right, I remember these San Diego mountain mahoganies from my ascent. Here I'm coming through them again. And now it's time to continue my way down. California scrub jay right here. Right on that branch. Phelocoma californica obscura. Cool. There's peak 1763. That was my second summit of the day. I'm not planning on re-summiting it. I'll tell you that. I think I'm done with peaks for the day. But, all right. Good times out here. Good times. It's time to start looking for the next junction, which will be another left because it was a right on the way out. All right. Away I go. Some of these scrub oaks got some slight lobing in the leaves. I love when they get the lobes. They look like the traditional oak leaves, only in miniature form. That's like another acutidens. This one's got some lobes on it. I love scrub oaks. Love, love, love scrub oaks. There's gonna be a lot more on the way down. All right, next junction. So I'm gonna go make the hard left to go back down this way, or else this way will lead me where I don't want to go. So I'm going to take the hard left, back down this way, and down. I know I'm going to bottom out in a ravine, and then I'll have to climb my way back to the truck trail. So I have a nice little bit of elevation gain to get accomplished on the way back over that rise. And I think beyond it as well. All right, still going, still filming this beautiful hike. All right, so that's about where I'm going to rejoin the trail, the truck trail. So what I need to do is descend into this swale, and then I'm going to climb back out towards the truck trail. So once I bottom out from this, I'm going to have a little bit of elevation gain to get back towards the latter part of this hike. So I'm going to be bottoming out pretty soon, and then I'm going to start climbing up. This trail will start gaining elevation towards the truck trail, and then I'm going to turn right onto the Valley View truck trail, and then I'm going to be heading uphill towards the main part of the reserve. So I do have some elevation gain on the way out. So if you're doing this hike the way I'm doing it, just allow yourself some time and energy for the return trip. Otherwise, just enjoy the scenery out here. I like this beautiful scrub oak wood right here. So enjoy what you have. It's one of the few places of shade you'll ever get. Oh, yeah, white-flowered currant. It's already starting to bloom. This is Ribes indicorum. It's already starting to bloom here in the shade. Flowers are really tiny. Tiny 5-petaled corollas. They're already starting to bloom. I'm surprised with the lack of rain. But, okay. I'll take it. It's a W in my book. Alright, so now I bottomed out, and now I'm going to start gaining elevation again. So this part will probably feel more tiring on the way out for those who want to do this hike. And the sun's starting to warm up quite a bit, so that's why I haven't drank a lot of water yet, but I have a lot with me. I will start consuming it more now. Alright, back up the way I go, back towards the truck trail. Now, on the way back, don't get confused by this. On the way back, stay left. Like I said, all the junctions going up to the peak, you're going to bear right. Every junction. On the way back, you're going to stay to the left. So it looks like we bottomed out again. So now I'm going to start climbing. Okay. Away I go. Palmer sagewort. I think that's Palmer sagewort. Yeah. I think that grew here. Artemisia palmeri. A little tiny patch of it growing right next to its cousin, California sagebrush, Artemisia californica. Okay. Up I go. Again. All right. Just about back at the truck trail. So again, turn right on your way out. Start heading uphill. I'm gonna go find a shitty place to sit and get a sip of water. So this is the way we're gonna head back, up this way. I'll go find a place to sit for a few minutes. So I decided to take a small break over here around this little platform. I don't know what that is, but yes, once you get past that eucalyptus tree, this platform with this pipe, and this eucalyptus tree just a little further down, you'll see your trail branching off to your left and heading towards that way. Now all I gotta do is head up this way, uphill, and there's my second peak there, 1763. So I'm gonna go ahead and start heading up and keep you updated on the way. Alright, so I'm gonna get a small break from the uphill. This is the trail I came down from up there. This is actually a fork of a trail I picked up on the other side of this. See right here is where I came before heading out that way. So it looks like I'm gonna get a small reprieve, but I know there's another uphill stretch when we get over by the other side of peak 1763. Should be another uphill stretch coming up. But that was actually a pretty mellow uphill. It wasn't that hard. Feels harder after all the climbing I did earlier, but it's not really steep. Just, again, after you've done a lot of climbing up to the peaks and you have some uphill on the way back to your trailhead, just pace yourself. That's all it is. It's not too bad. But I know I'm going to have some more uphill coming up pretty soon. So right next to where the avocado grove is, I remember first couple times I was here, and you can see the fence here, a little barbed wire fence. That's private property there for an avocado farm. Those are all avocado trees down there. Okay, so now we're going to round this bend and we're going to start going uphill again. So like I said, just pace yourself. Now we're back in some Coast live oaks right now. Right here on the side of the trail. There's a beauty right there. Look at the trunks on that. Not huge, but very picturesque. Very beautiful tree. Yep. All right. So I do have some uphill. A sustained uphill, if I remember correctly. But it won't be a ridiculous amount of time before I'm back towards the bottom of the canyon here where I'll be parked. Beautiful woodland here. Get some pictures around here. There's Interstate 8 and there's Lake Jennings right there in the middle. Okay, we'll get some pictures here. There we go, raven. Just got buzzed by two of them. So yeah, so we will have some sporadic shade along this route. A lot of these are river red gums right here. Eucalyptus comodulensis. And a raven just landed in this tree right here. Just caught a whiff of the eucalyptus too. I love this, the fragrance. Yep, there's a raven right up there. Oh, there's another one. Cool. Okay. And most of these are coast live oaks, but starting to get some Engelmann oaks showing up again. There's a nice small Engelmann oak right here. Very, very, very handsome tree. Very handsome tree, the Engelmann oak is. Here's a toyon here. Yeah, here we go. Engelmann oak. And speaking of toyons, here's another toyon right here, full of red pomes. Red fruit of the toyon. Beautiful. It's covered. And this is the first lemonade berry I've seen all day. Rus integrifolia. Seen several sugar bushes, Rus ovata, which is its close relative. Yeah, this is the first lemonade berry I've seen all day. Pretty cool. Yeah. There's some beautiful eucalyptus trees too. It's a very pretty stretch. This is uphill, but it's very mellow so far, and it's beautiful. All right, what else will I find on the way back to the car? Here's a holly leaf redberry, Rhamnus ilicifolia, right underneath this Engelmann oak. So right now I'm on a slight downhill stretch. I think there might be another uphill before I leave, before I go back, I think, but just enjoying this very gentle walk. Beautiful views over towards Interstate 8, towards Lakeside. Good views. Get some good views from this truck trail. I wonder why they call it the Valley View Truck Trail. You get some good views, and there's a valley down there. Yeah, this is the real serene, peaceful part of the hike. The business of getting to the peak, getting to the peaks is done. Now it's just winding my way back. So now I get to savor it in a mellow, relaxed way. Of course, there'll be a few uphill grinds, but that's just what it is. It's just the way it is. Yeah. It's crazy. A lot of these avocado trees had died. There's like these, a lot of these were avocado trees that passed out or passed away. It's a shame. Sad to hear that, or sad to see that. There were a lot more trees that were closer to the truck trail that you could see up close. Here's one here that's really doing poorly, and this drought's not helping. That is so sad. Whoever owns this land, I feel for you. I mean, they've still got a lot of lush trees down in the valley, but still, any loss, it's no fun. All right. Let's see. Working my way down this beautiful path. I guess I consider this as a part of a loop because I haven't been on this portion yet. Yeah, so I still have a little ways to go. Because there's my first peak right there. Peak 1584. That was my first one. And yeah, and then there's my second one up there. Peak 1763. Can't even see the other one. Peak 1754. So I'm actually closing out a loop right now. Because I went up the backside of that, started to come up a bunch of switchbacks to a use trail to get to the top of that. Then took the use trail to a series of switchbacks and came down, I think somewhere down there, walked a very short distance up the truck trail, and then found the use trail up to 1763. And then went down, split at a fork, took another use trail to another part of Valley View Truck Trail, walked a very short distance on that, and then accessed another side trail to get up to 1754. So this is the most time I've spent on Valley View Truck Trail on my entire hike today. But I think the use trail I accessed to get up to the tower, or the water tower on 1763, should be on the other side of this fold, I believe. So we'll see. I'll check in when I find it. All right, so I'm just about back here at the trail junction. This is the trail I used to get up towards the water tower on peak 1763. So this is where I left the Valley View Truck Trail to start ascending towards my second peak of the day. And momentarily, I'll be at the junction of the trail I used when I came down from peak 1584. Very soon, actually. We're just about at the next trail junction. Here's a nice spiny red berry, Rhamnus crocea. And now at the bottom of this gulch is the trail junction. This is the trail I came down from peak 1584. And a big royal willow here too. Wow. It's a pretty tall one. So yeah, this is where I came down from peak 1584. that's where I went to get to the trail to get up there to 1763. And now I closed out one loop and I'm going to start another loop. This loop will take me back towards the beginning of the park. So I do have another uphill stretch, it looks like, coming up. So I've just opened up the second loop. This will be a small loop here. So here we go. My second loop of the day. All right. Catch up with you in a few. All right, here we go. Here's an avocado right here. Persea americana. Ooh, look at this laurel sumac. Trimmed as a single trunk tree. Used to be a multi-stem thicket, but look at the size of the trunk on that. That's a pretty nice sized laurel sumac trunk. So I just got through another short uphill stretch. Now it's leveled off again. Yeah, so I don't think I'd ever been to that part down there where I was pointing out all the dead avocado trees. I don't think I'd ever been on that part before. Nice laurel sumac here too. But yeah, I don't think I'd ever been that far down ever on this truck trail. So that's why I was kind of surprised to see all that. These ones are still doing pretty well. All right, looks like we're gonna start going downhill again. So I think I'm just about done with the climbing. Kind of glad actually. Oh, here's a. So I pointed out Mission Manzanita earlier. Here's an actual manzanita right here. Let me see. Can't get close enough to tell. I think it's a big berry, I think. Might be a big berry manzanita. Arctostaphylos glauca. Yeah, those are the only actual Arctostaphylos species that I've seen. That's the only Arctostaphylos I've seen today. The other manzanita, the Mission manzanita, is the closely related Xylococcus bicolor. But that was a true manzanita in the genus Arctostaphylos. Okay. All right. Time for some views over here. It's a beautiful avocado orchard. Here's a, let's see, is this a regular hollyleaf redberry? Yep, another Rhamnus ilicifolia. Haven't seen Rhamnus pilosa. Haven't seen the hairy redberry. That could potentially be found here, but I haven't seen it. I've been seeing hollyleaf redberry and spiny redberry. Oh well. Still can't knock the beautiful time I've had today. And I'm not going to even bother trying to knock it. Just enjoy it. Okay, so looks like we're going to have another undulation here, another small uphill stretch here. So this just undulates a little bit. Nothing too insane. All right. See you on the next clip. All right, so I'm getting pretty close to the end of this one. Just about to head down into that oak woodland down there. This will be where the end of this journey will be. Beautiful day out here. It's getting warm, a little warm. Mostly because it's very exposed to the sun out here, but it's been a great day. Great day. Wouldn't trade this for the world. And I'm almost back at the car. Just got to head through this beautiful patch of woodland. There are some other trails on the other side as well. Next time I'm here, I'll go explore some of those as well. Might see if there's a place I can sit down for a few minutes and guzzle down some water. But yeah, we're back down in this beautiful oak woodland. All right. Pretty neat, pretty neat. Very beautiful here. Glad it came out today. Glad I made this happen. All right. I'll see you momentarily for some final updates. I'm just going to take a little loop around. That's where I checked in last, was on that side. So I'm just going to go around this little narrow loop and see what these are all about. I noticed these signs here that are closed. Interesting. Just wonder what those were. There are quite a few of them down here. Let's go see if this leads back to the main trail. So this will be a third mini loop. Oh well, another mini adventure. So by the time my last clip started, I had closed out my second loop. Yeah, see, this trail's going to take me through some Engelmann oaks now. Here we go. Quercus engelmanni. And back at some coast live oaks. Usually the significantly larger of the species of oak. I like how this oak tree almost uses that rock as either a crutch or an armchair. It's like it's resting its arm, that branch. That is so cool. Yeah. Really cool. And this should lead back to the main trail there. But it's just a little side adventure. It is gorgeous coast live oak woodland. Beautiful here. Time for a few still photos. Red-shouldered hawk. Red-shouldered hawk. Buteo lineatus. Okay. Time for a few stills now. Remember this spot here, this little drainage. Yep, California sycamores, Platanus racemosa, some young ones. And there's a Gooding's black willow behind it. Pretty nice, pretty nice. So the next time I'm here, I'll probably go explore some of these other trails on this side. I'm just about to wrap this one up. All right, this is gonna just about do it for me. This beautiful laurel sumac right here. There's a big laurel sumac. Let's get an up close of this one. There's a big laurel sumac. This is huge. Malosma laurina. This is a big laurel sumac. Very beautiful. Here are our last couple Engelmann oaks for the day. as there's where the trailhead is. So that's gonna wrap up this adventure. So 3 peaks, put in some mileage and a fair amount of elevation gain today. Very nice. And there's where Horse Mill Road is. So that's gonna do it for me. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. And I'll see you on my next adventure.